Welcome to Cruise Ports on a Budget, where I'll show you some of the things you can do in various cruise ports without spending a fortune. Well, this is Palma de Mallorca. The town centre is about 20 minutes ride away from the port, but the port authorities actually provide a shuttle bus, so it doesn't really matter what cruise line you come in, you should be able to get a free ride into town. As you can see behind me, the shuttle bus stop is fairly close to the Cathedral. If for any event there's not a shuttle bus running, there's a bus stop right to the left, immediately outside the port gates, where you can get a number 1 bus into town. You need to get off at stop number 20, which is Mallorca / Jaume 3, or Mallorca Jaume III. We're just going to take a wander today through the town, look at the Cathedral, which is an obvious thing to do, and see what we can find. It's about a 300-metre walk across the main road to get to the Cathedral. The Cathedral is much higher up than it seems, and there's quite a lot of steps to get up there. Seeing as the shuttle bus stops so close to the Cathedral, it makes sense to make that our first visit. There's quite a few steps up from this side, and I think the entrance to it is around the opposite side. But just up from here, there's a lovely view. You can see right over to where our cruise ship is over there. Entry to the Cathedral is €10 each. There's a sign saying no photographs inside, but everyone had their phones out and nobody was bothered. Something to bear in mind is that the opening time is advertised as 9 AM, but it wasn't open when we got there and didn't open until 10 AM. The ticket for the Cathedral also includes entry to the Museum of Art, which is around the back near the steps that we've come up. So as soon as it's included, we might as well have a look. Apart from the Cathedral and the Museum of Art, there don't seem to be many other places to visit in Palma, so it's really just a case of wandering around the streets and seeing what you can find. Probably the most interesting building in Palma is this beautiful Art Nouveau building, built in 1906 as a dental clinic. One of the main shopping streets in Palma is Calle Syndicat. Quite a lot of the shops though seem to be closed, and there was the usual graffiti about. We've done a circular route and are now back at the old dental clinic. We're now going to head down to the newer part of town, and we're quite surprised to find how high up the old part of the town is. You need to find this steep alleyway just to the left of the old dental clinic. Although this is supposed to be the new part of town, some of the buildings here are much more interesting than those we've seen so far. This building has a bookshop in, which is well worth a visit. And right opposite the bookshop is this beautiful old bakery. Along Avenue de Jaume III are all the more modern shops which you'll find in any city, but we're looking for the department store El Corte Inglés, which, like Barcelona, has a cafe on the top floor. If you head out of the back entrance of El Corte Inglés and head south, you'll find all these lovely alleyways which will eventually lead back to the cathedral. But be aware, it can be a bit confusing which way to go. Almost back at the waterfront, you'll find Llotja de Palma, built between 1425 and 1452 as a meeting place for merchants. It later became the place to govern the island's trade activities and to carry out repairs to the port. You can go inside, but it's closed on Mondays when we were there, and also between 1:30 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, that was a nice circular stroll around Palma de Mallorca. I probably haven't done it justice, but it's an interesting little town to wander around. A mix of old and new, although the old's not really as spectacular as many other places in Spain and the Mediterranean. Now that we've almost finished our tour, the sun's come out, and I have to say the cathedral looks a lot better in the sunshine. Well, that's just about it really for our tour. I hope that's given you an insight in a few of the places you might want to go in Palma de Mallorca. And we now head back to the shuttle stop, which is no more than 100 yards down this way, and then back to the ship.
The cheapest shore excursion available was basically a coach trip around the island at £78 for 2 people. Our walking tour didn't cost anything apart from €20 to get into the Cathedral. We also found a cafe in one of the back streets where we got 2 coffees for just €3. Check out my other videos for more advice on how you can spend as little as possible in various cruise ports.